SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
You're listening to Sports Talk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
Sports Talk Mississippi is on the air. Sports Talk Mississippi is powered by C Spire. Power your home or business with C Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C Spire. C Spire Fiber powers Super Talk Mississippi. To the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Again, I say it is really good that there is no baseball at Oxford and Starkville this weekend. This stinky weather here in the state of Mississippi this week.
It's not raining here. We could get it in, I think, but
tonight at least.
It's good. It would be iffier, yeah.
We've already canceled a soccer game.
I say that though, but I have boots on the ground in Austin telling me it is pouring rain in the state of Texas. Right?
Ooh.
So,
but I guess the thing that I mean the most when it comes to that is you don't ruin a crowd. You know what I mean?
And we just received word. Just breaking news here a few minutes ago. Mississippi State, Texas, that game has been moved to 7:30 p.m. first pitch.
A little late night baseball. I'm down for that. And we'll talk about baseball today. Big series in the state of Mississippi. Not really, but involving teams from the state of Mississippi. We'll talk baseball, a lot of baseball today. You had some legal trouble featuring Mississippi State's Week 2 opponent. Problem is, it's not the legal trouble that's going to cost this team their quarterback in Week 2, but we'll tell you about it anyway. Because,
I missed this, so you'll have to break some news to me.
Yeah, we'll tell you about that. We'll go through lineups. The Saints have added a former Ole Miss player. We'll talk about that. Russell Wilson in the booth, possibly so. Ari Wasserman went after Nick Saban today. I liked what he had to say. And so we'll get to all that. We'll have some fun, too. It's a rainy Friday, at least where I sit. And it's cold for May 1st in Mississippi. It makes no sense. I mean, you got people wearing jackets and pants and stuff.
If I'm wearing a pullover, it's chilly.
It's cold, especially for this time of year. Yeah. So we're going to have some fun today, and hope you guys are happy to join us.
If you want to have some fun, you could join us at Pearl River Resort. PearlRiverResort.com is the place to book your next great weekend adventure, whatever it is you like to do, man. If you're a live entertainment person, you want to see a show, you want to see some live music, you want to eat great food, you want to play some awesome round of golf, or just enjoy yourself and relax, you can do it all at Pearl River Resort. PearlRiverResort.com is the place to book it. C Spire text line is open to you at 601-879-4395. With C Spire, it is easier than ever to get all the devices you want in one move with the Ultimate Connect bundle. Right now, new and current customers can get a free phone, watch, and tablet, and 100 gigs of data for only $90. That includes the new iPhone 17 or the Samsung Galaxy S26 for free, with a free smartwatch and a free tablet to go with it. Don't wait. There's more to see. There's more that's free. Visit cspire.com or stop by your local C Spire store today. C Spire, inspired by you.
So I'll go ahead and do the Mississippi State Week 2 opponent thing right now because we got this text. I mean, first text of the day before we went on the show, or before the show began. Huge fan, guys. Thought it was funny you mentioned Minnesota football on Wednesday, and I saw this tweet right after. Not sure I've seen anything like this before. Ole Miss fan, but it looks like State can get it done. And it's a screenshot. By the way, your devices are always listening to you.
Yes, they are.
They are. Because, yes, if you heard us talking about Minnesota football and then your phone displayed a tweet from Minnesota football, there is one reason why that happened. It's because your phone heard us talking about it. But
it heard.
Here's what it says. Minnesota was a hilarious team last season. 7-0 at home, 0-5 on the road, 0-3 versus Big Ten teams, above 500 in Big Ten play, scored 19 total points in those games, one win all year over bowl teams. So, yeah, Minnesota's going to be not an off-season darling They're not going to be one of those.
Right.
But they are going to be a team of intrigue. People are going to look at Minnesota and think, they got kind of a chance to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially because, one, they've got some pretty quality defensive linemen, one edge in particular that has a chance to be an early round pick. Stud edge. But also draft people like their quarterback. Drake Lindsey's his name. He was a redshirt freshman this past season. He's a big kid, 6'5", 230. Big guy. And a good player. In draft, the draft people have started watching film and looking at him and think, that could be a guy that, 6 months from now we look up and think, oh, wow, here's a quarterback out of nowhere. He was arrested early this morning. Here are the details from ESPN. He was in Fayetteville, by the way. It's where he's from. He's from Fayetteville, Arkansas. I wonder if the Razorbacks wish they would have recruited him because they could use him on this year's team.
They could use a lot of things, yeah.
According to ESPN, he was arrested early Friday in Fayetteville for underage possession of alcohol and possession of a fake identification. The report from the Fayetteville PD, an officer was alerted by staff of the Yee Hog Bar. The Yee Hog Bar.
Are they going for like an old English vibe, or are they going for like a country and western vibe?
Imagine.
We got both kinds of music, country and western.
We're going to the Yee Hog.
Oh, yeah, that's the other side. Like, can you go in there, get a plate of bangers and mash, get you a steak and ale pie?
Can I have some mushy peas, please?
Mushy peas?
Do you have the Chelsea game?
Hey, all right.
We want to
Calm
watch
down.
some footy.
There's some manly bars watching
Where's
that.
the loo?
The loo. They're eating beans with breakfast at Yee Hog.
Yee Hog. Shortly after midnight about a possible fake identification document. Staff directed a police officer to Lindsay, who is 20 years old, who admitted having the fake ID and to consuming alcohol before arriving to the bar. He was taken to the Washington County Detention Center. They found the ID in his wallet. He signed a form for minor in possession of alcohol, and he was released after posting a $470 bond. And Minnesota's statement says they will address it internally. He will not miss a single snap of football for that.
Throw him under the jail. Get him out of there. Get him gone.
If you're PJ Fleck, I don't think the punishment's even, like, you got to go run stadiums. It's, come here, son, and boom, just slap him right
on the back of the head.
Yeah,
I can't.
You idiot.
Yeah, I can't go against that. I think you're correct.
You're a 6'5" football player. Even if you didn't go to Arkansas, you're easily identifiable.
Yeah. There's not really a lot that you can. You can't
get away with.
You can't come away from this here and
at 6'5", 230, brother. I'm sorry. You just
got to blend in a little bit more for that.
Yeah. I did have a fake ID once. Sorry.
Did you?
Sorry, Dad. But it wasn't fake. It was somebody else's. So it was a real ID.
Technically a fake ID.
But he was 5'9".
It's no good. Yeah,
but people, it never got.
People look at that. People will look at that sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. I have a great fake ID story. Again, not my fake ID, somebody else's. But I won't incriminate anyone today.
But yeah, Drake Lindsey again. He won't miss any time. But PJ Fleck again. You just slap him on the head. Like, come on, dude. What are you doing? Good player though. That game is not going to get the national fanfare the way that others will in the first couple of weeks of the season. Isn't Ohio State, Texas that weekend?
That's week
Isn't that week 2?
Is that week 2? Okay, yeah. And nobody is going to nobody has their eyes on Mississippi State, Minnesota.
But maybe they should. Because that can be a very fun and interesting football game.
The thing that give it just a little bit of juice. Well, see, I think that's also Oklahoma, Michigan that weekend. And that'll be at Michigan. So that'll be without going too far down the rabbit hole, that's probably big noon, right?
Yeah, week 2 is Arkansas, Utah, Alabama at Kentucky, Oklahoma at Michigan, Tennessee at Georgia Tech, Texas, Ohio State,
thinking in terms
A&M,
of
Arizona State. My goodness.
Just thinking in terms of television. That could be a night game on Fox.
It very well could be, yes.
Yeah. So might get a little buzz. What State needs to have happen, if you want to talk about getting some buzz, is against ULM is Kamario Taylor throw for 300 and rush for 150, and everybody be going, wait a minute, who is this kid?
Yeah, look at this guy.
That's what. If you want to get a little buzz around that game, that's what you need to have happen.
And then, of course, the more negative approach to it's Jeff Lebby has to win that game is, of course, rooted in some level of hyperbole because it is week 2. Mm-hmm. But it feels like he has to win that game.
We've been talking about that this week on Thunder and Lightning because a couple of the opponent previews we've done, or spring previews we've done, South Carolina and Missouri, and those are 2 of State's first 4 games. State has, in their first 4 games, are ULM, which you have to count as a win, and then Minnesota, at Minnesota, at South Carolina, and then Missouri. You just got to be 3-1. Doesn't matter what the one is. If you lose at Minnesota, but you win the other 2, nobody cares. If you lose
hosting
at
Alabama, if you're 3-1 hosting Alabama,
you're fine.
You feel good.
You're okay. Anything less than that, and it's going to be a long season.
Yeah, because, you can certainly forgive a loss to one of Minnesota, South Carolina, Missouri, without a doubt. South Carolina's talented.
Yeah, they're a good team.
Beamer's done a good job of acquiring
potential
talent.
first-round quarterback. That's what I would say.
And they have a first-round edge.
Yeah.
Dude's a disruptor.
That could be a problem for Mississippi State.
And Missouri's talented.
Yeah.
Drinkwitz has just built a program that has good players, is what they do.
Right.
But in your own stadium, that helps.
Yeah.
Interesting football game. Interesting first couple of weeks. Sports Talk Mississippi, some of your messages have come in. We'll get to those when we come back.
It's time for more Sports Talk Mississippi.
Finally.
On SuperTalk Mississippi, the SuperTalk app, and at supertalk.fm.
Back here on Sports Talk Mississippi. Brian hit him out the book. It is a Friday.
Yeah, it is.
What a weird Friday. It's like 50. It's like 60 degrees outside.
It doesn't make any
May
sense.
May 1st.
It's all backwards.
This is how the weather should have been on March 1st. Instead, in March 1st, it was like 80 degrees.
It feels like February out here.
It does. That's pretty much correct. Yeah. So
we have a weird thing with the SEC. This year. Week 1 is a dud, and Week 2 is awesome. Here's Week 1, and compare that to Week 2. Alabama ECU, Arkansas North Alabama, Auburn Baylor. That one's got a little juice. Florida FAU, Georgia Tennessee State, Kentucky Youngstown State, the Penguins, LSU Clemson, Ole Miss Louisville, Missouri Arkansas Pine Bluff, State ULM, Oklahoma UTEP, South Carolina Kent State, Tennessee Furman, Texas State, Texas A&M, Missouri State, Vanderbilt, Austin Peay. That's Week 1. In terms of, I don't know if Clemson's going to be ranked or not. I doubt it.
Probably not. Not Week 2, no.
So the game of the weekend is Ole Miss Louisville.
For Week 1? Yeah.
For Week 1.
Yeah, you're probably correct, yeah.
Week 2. I already read them, but here they are again. Alabama's at Kentucky. New coach for Kentucky. That place will be juiced. Arkansas's at Utah.
Good game.
State's at Minnesota. Missouri's at Kansas on that Friday night.
Border war.
Yeah, there's juice in that one.
For sure.
Oklahoma's at Michigan. Tennessee's at Georgia Tech. Texas is hosting Ohio State. A&M's hosting Arizona State.
Good
what
games.
A completely different weekend in Week 2 than Week 1.
I'll take them. I will take them.
Gosh, hey, I'm so excited about this.
Well, now after yesterday, we are now 120 days away. If we wanted to do every team, we could right now.
We could, yeah, we could
120 could get you in there.
Although, I guess there's a chance.
I still haven't thought about what our little niche category is going to be yet. I got to figure that out between now and then. We need something to happen that makes me, because that's what happened last year. Remember, we had the thing went viral about could 100 guys beat a gorilla?
Yeah.
And it sort of went from there. So we need something like that. I'm sure something will come up. It always does.
It always does.
Yeah.
And we got time. We got 3 weeks still.
We got plenty of time
to do that. When does 100 teams in 100 days start? Well, so it depends on when you want us to start it. We are 120 days from week 0. But we've been doing it up until week 1, obviously. So it's about 4 weeks away.
Yeah.
Usually around the SEC baseball tournament is when it begins,
right,
generally speaking. So, yeah, we're about 4 weeks away.
That's what we'll do.
Somebody says apparently Minnesota's quarterback needs to stop the buzz.
Let's stop the what?
Stop the buzz.
Oh.
Is Arkansas where college football players go to get in trouble? Yeah, Baker Mayfield, right? Wasn't he in Fayetteville when he got arrested?
I believe that's correct, yeah.
What's up with that?
Apparently they never win the party at Arkansas.
No, they don't.
But apparently they also don't win a lot of games either. So it's tough scene.
Arkansas is the perfect example of how money, resources don't matter if you're run by incompetency.
Right.
Like the concept of a place.
They have money.
They have 2 mega donors, mega brands, and they own the state by themselves, but they have an AD who's incompetent, and they hire bad football coaches, and so here they are. It's that simple.
Yeah.
They should be one of the better programs in college football. Maybe not like, Texas Oil Money or Ohio State.
They should be better than what they are. There's no excuse for Arkansas to have been. I know we had our talk about Auburn, about how they have the longest losing streak, but I think we would all agree that if you talk about the last decade, Arkansas has been the worst program of what was the SEC West. Mm-hmm. And even Vanderbilt has had, Vanderbilt is coming off a 10-win season. They've had higher highs. So, yeah, it's just one of those things.
A couple of texts make reference to this. If Drake Lindsey was the quarterback at Arkansas, would he have gotten arrested?
No. No question is in my mind. The answer is no.
Because he wouldn't have needed the fake ID. It would have just been, there's Drake Lindsey.
That's Drake Lindsey. Yeah, just give him what you want to give him. Yeah, exactly. That's correct.
I wonder if Arkansas tried to tamper with him to get him. You would assume so, right? Hey, come back to your literal home?
It's possible, but I don't know enough about that kid that does he fit what Silverfield wants? See, there are other things sometimes,
No, hey, Dad, no, there's not.
I don't want Jeff Lebby tampering with a whole ton of drop back quarterbacks, guys who run a 5.2. I'm not that interested.
Is the Arkansas program worse than Mississippi State in the last decade? Yes.
In the last decade? Absolutely.
At 100%, yes.
Yeah.
Well, what's the heads-up record? Let's go to Winsipedia.
Last 10? Going back to 16?
Yes.
So, hold on. Loss, win, loss. So 3 wins. They would have won in 22, 1 in 23, and 1 in 25. They'd be 7-3. 7-4, something like that. Yeah.
Arkansas holds the all-time series, 19-15. But let's see. So Mississippi State. We'll go to Arkansas won in Starkville 58-42 in 2016.
An absolutely bonkers game. Nick Fitzgerald scored 6 touchdowns and lost. Arkansas didn't punt in that game.
So State's 0-1.
Mm-hmm. They won in
1-1, 2-1, 3-1.
1-19. Moorhead didn't lose to them.
3-2, 3-3, 4-3, 5-3, 5-4,
6-4. 6-4.
6-4 gagainst Arkansas in the last 10. And
they don't play each other this year, so.
Don't play each other, and also...
and if you want to go back a little further, State had won the previous 3 against Arkansas.
Yeah. And then, of course, the overall records, Mississippi State is ahead of Arkansas in that over the last 10 years as well.
Right.
So, yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
I guess it still would Vanderbilt would still, over the last 10 years, be the worst program in the SEC. Arkansas is second worst, aren't they?
Yeah, easily. Easily, yeah.
That's wild. It should not be that way.
Well,
but it is.
But it is that way.
Alas, it is. Somebody said, did 6 months of grad school in Fayetteville. It's a great city. It is that, for sure.
I've been to Fayetteville. It's really nice. They have a great downtown. They got a great bar scene. Some really good restaurants. Wright's Barbecue is outstanding.
A lot of flannel.
But they got this going on. People keep getting arrested. Quarterbacks keep getting arrested there.
Yeah, somebody says, just announced that men's and women's tennis is done after this year at Arkansas because of financial reasons, which has to be BS because of Walmart, J.B. Hunt, Tyson, and all the companies right there. Exactly. And, I mean, so they saved, I think, 2% of their budget by cutting men's and women's tennis. That's it.
Yeah.
2% of their budget. While they pay Sam Pittman's buyout. I mean, there's more to that decision than that. Obviously. But as we talked about before, I mean, there is a line of thinking in college sports, specifically around tennis. Do we really want to be the farm system for international tennis players? That may be an offensive question, but when you look at tennis teams around the country, very few Americans are playing college tennis in America, at the highest level anyway.
Right.
And there's a thought that, what am I sinking $2.5 million to be a farm system for Sweden? There is.
I get it. Yeah.
Somebody says ideas for 100 teams in 100 days use men instead of men use zombies.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. Zombies can't. What's a buffalo going to do against a zombie? 100 zombies.
Gore it.
It couldn't. Like the zombies would just keep getting up. Like, what's an eagle going to do? Just fly away, I guess.
We'll think of something.
Well, we'll figure it out. We got plenty of time.
Somebody wants you to continue the singing the fight songs, though, because it made their wife laugh, which,
I don't know. That was good. That was good that one time. I don't know if I can bring it back like that.
We will bring back baseball into the conversation when we come back. We got some big series to discuss. Weather disrupting a little bit, but not too much of tonight's game with Mississippi State and Texas. It's a good Texas team on the road as well. Big series. Ole Miss in Fayetteville. A lot of history on the line when these two teams get together, especially with Van Horn and Bianco. But also, Ole Miss, if you're going to host, this one feels like you got to go get it. And we also have a lineup out for Ole Miss, so we will look at that as well when we come back. And good news on the injury front there as well. So we'll get to all of that and more with you. Don't forget to text the show, 601-879-4395. That's the C Spire text line, and be a part of the show that way. We'll be back in just a bit talking baseball when we return.
From the SuperTalk Mississippi, your all-access pass to all things sports in Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi on the SuperTalk app, your local SuperTalk station, and at supertalk.fm.
Let's talk a little baseball. We will start with a game that's been altered schedule-wise. A quick update. Again, hey, Dad, so the game between State and Texas tonight's been pushed back, an hour?
I believe that's correct. I think it was 6:30. It's a 7:30 first pitch now.
7:30 first pitch in Austin. A nice ballpark, nice venue. Not a super rabid fan base, but going on the road still difficult. And Texas, quite good. So, what are you looking for? What are you watching for in this series? What are your thoughts on the pitching matchups, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, when you look at State, these last two weekends they've gotten sweeps, right? But they are against South Carolina and LSU, who are objectively two of the three worst teams in the conference at this point. And last weekend, the way that they won those games was really weird, right? I mean, they trailed 3-0 going into the bottom of the first of every game. None of their starters gave them a good outing. They had to find comeback victories in all of them. And what I thought was interesting in all three games, not only did they trail 3-0, but then they would tie the game and they fell behind a second time. if you're doing that against Texas, you're just going to lose. You're just not going to win these games. So are we, State's 13-8. Are they back to where they were when they were sweeping Vandy and Ole Miss and they looked really impressive? Or is it just more of a byproduct of they've played two terrible teams and they've beaten them up? Probably the truth somewhere in the middle. Texas is a really good team, but they certainly aren't invulnerable. They've lost some games this year. I think it's going to be a pretty good series. I feel like the winner of tonight's game will probably take the series. This is your two best guys going at it, Valantis and Valencius. So I think that's whoever wins this game. I feel like State can get this series but they got to win tonight. They're certainly not going to win Saturday and Sunday. So big series. That's the thing with State right now is like they're on the precipice of doing everything they want to do. Right, that's being a top 8 seed. They're still technically in the mix for the SEC. The problem is they have to be a full game ahead of Georgia. They can't be tied with them because Georgia would have the head-to-head. But they're still very much in the mix to do everything they want to do this year. I feel like I'm torn between are they actually better or am I overreacting to the fact that they had 2 bad weekends in a row? Which I don't know which one it is. So this weekend I feel like gives me some clarity.
I tend to agree with you on the clarity piece for sure. What's the bare minimum to have a weekend that is not just one? Just go over there, get one, come back, you're okay.
One game, don't get swept. Just don't get swept. If you don't get swept, you're going to be, 14-11? Is that right? No, 14-10. You get a home series next weekend. You should be 16-11 after that. You go over to Texas A&M. If you're 17-13, you're going to be on the bubble for being an 8 seed, but you're absolutely going to host. And if you find an extra win in there somewhere in these 3 weekends, if you either win a road series or sweep Auburn, you're 18-12. You should be a top 8 seed, and everything is taken care of.
At 18-12, you absolutely should be.
Yeah, I would think so.
To Oxford, sort of. To Fayetteville, we actually got a lineup for Ole Miss out already. And Ole Miss is back to full strength in terms of players being in the lineup. I don't know exactly, what percentage the two guys are playing, if they're actually 100% or not. But they're in the lineup. Federico leading off, Becerra in right, Utermark back at his home at third base, Furness at first, so his arm did not get ripped out of the socket when it slid under the turf.
That's good to know.
Reuter's going to DH tonight. Jones in left. Decker at second. Foley, again, back to being healthy behind the plate. And Owen Pano going to get the start at shortstop. So still a little bit of shuffling around, but Pano he's earned it, quite frankly. He's earned the opportunities. I know the lefty-righty thing, whatever. I still think that I would DH Pano and still have it how it used to be. I don't know if I'd give Reuter starts, but now that I said that, he's going to hit 3 home runs tonight, and you're welcome. But I still think I would have Randall at short and Pano, regardless of the splits and stuff, DHing. But I'm also not a multi-million-dollar baseball coach, so joke is on me. Hunter Elliott's got to be better tonight for Ole Miss to start. Like, 4th inning, Hunter Elliott is the best pitcher in college baseball.
Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong.
But for whatever reason, he's having trouble getting out of the gate. And that's got to change if this team is going to reach their ceiling. And tonight would be a good place to start.
Yeah.
Up against the lefty, Hunter Dietz, right? Hunter Dietz. Not Deeds like Mr. Deeds, but Dietz.
Yes, you're correct.
Who's 5-2 with a 3.6 ERA.
Really good.
Yeah. Gibbler's numbers are better in Game 2. He's also a lefty with a 2.9 ERA. Opposite, though, Cade Townsend, who's 4-1 with a 2.3 ERA. And then, of course, Taylor Rabe opposite TBA. So TBA transferred from Mississippi State earlier this season to Arkansas. I think he also got a cup of coffee in Oxford this year as well, did TBA.
I believe that's correct.
And, so TBA for Arkansas in Game 3. I think you got to get 2. This is such
tough.
a winnable series.
It's so tough to win on the road, though. It doesn't matter where you go. It's tough to win on the road.
It's your worst team remaining.
Well, that's if Arkansas is your worst team remaining, you got problems.
Because it's A&M and Alabama on the road.
Arkansas is good enough, and they're going to be in the tournament. So
yeah,
good team. In case you're wondering about Southern Mississippi, in case you didn't already know, they've already had to alter the series with the rain. They're not playing tonight. They have a doubleheader scheduled for tomorrow. First game starts at 1 p.m. 45 minutes after that, they'll do Game 2. Game 3 is at 3 p.m. On Sunday. Game 3, I'm sorry. We do know the rotation for the Golden Eagles. Graydon Harris on Game 1. Camden Clark, Game 2. Camden Sundstrom on Game 3. But no baseball tonight for USM down in Hattiesburg.
Yeah, there's no way. This is what a stinky weekend. Just quite frankly, the weather's just not good around here. Although once this rain gets out, having a couple days at like 72 is going to be. It's going to be
nice. Fine, yeah.
That'll be great.
And then we'll basically be into summer at that point. But that's fine. I'm down with that. I'm down with summer at this point. I'm ready for it.
Are you? You're a summer guy?
I'm not really a summer guy, but at the same time, I'm just prepared mentally. I'm ready to be hot.
Late fall in Mississippi is the GOAT weather, I think.
100%. Fall is the king of seasons. It has the best weather and it has the best sports.
Really, just football. It has football.
It has soccer. It's when
really?
The Premier League season starts in August, so starting to get into it there. Plus, you got playoff baseball too.
But the most important soccer happens once every 4 years in the summer.
Correct. Unless it's in Qatar.
I can't believe they did that.
Then it's in November.
My goodness.
Well, that's a whole different story.
Have you seen what the state of New Jersey is doing for the games that are being played at the Meadowlands?
It's a nightmare.
And they're blaming FIFA. You don't have to charge that for your transit system.
Right.
And you don't have to ban people from walking to the stadium either.
Well, you can't walk to the stadium.
You can't.
You walk on an interstate? That's not good.
Yes. But if you guys aren't familiar, so they're playing the World Cup here in the States this summer. And the Meadowlands, I think aren't they calling it New York Stadium even though it's in New Jersey?
Yes, correct.
Where the Giants and the Jets play, obviously, they're having games there. And you are banned from walking to the stadium. You're not allowed to. And usually that's fine because they have a transit system that drops you off at the stadium that costs you like $5 or whatever to take. For the World Cup, they initially said that they were going to charge $100 to get on the train to take you to the stadium. Now it's $150. If I read that correctly.
Yeah.
And again, you cannot take Ubers there. You cannot drive your own car there. You cannot walk there. And they are price gouging people to the tune of $150 to get on a train from New York City to take you to the game. I wouldn't go out of principle.
They are making it incredibly difficult to ever bring a World Cup back to America. I'll put it that way, because everywhere else, there's just ease of getting to the stadiums.
I saw somebody
it's
say
crazy. Like you look at in England, right? Like Arsenal plays in a state of the art. Mm-hmm. Tottenham Hotspur plays in a state of the art 60,000, 70,000 seat stadium. They're just in neighborhoods, man. You can leave the pub, walk across the street, you're at the stadium.
I saw somebody say that if they really wanted to showcase America, they would have these games on college campuses.
It would make it a lot easier.
It would be
make it a lot easier.
It would be funner, more fun.
Again, funner, not a word. That's the 2 days in a row now you've said funner.
Yeah, but I like it.
That is not a word.
But it would be more fun.
Yeah.
Imagine instead of Atlanta, it was in Athens. How much more enjoyable that trip
or it's not even if it was it could be in Atlanta. Play it at Bobby Dodd. Like Georgia Tech's in the middle of it. You can walk to Georgia Tech Stadium.
Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll be back.
And the Venable Glass. Happening in Mississippi sports. You'll hear about it first, right here. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Any other hanging on baseball thoughts? We'll talk to Jay Powell in the next hour. Brad Henderson was a no-go today, and he said specifically because I don't want to talk to Brian Haydad.
I would have not spoken. I could have let you handle it.
But,
I wouldn't want to talk to me either if my team had lost to the other guy's team 4 times in one season. I wouldn't want to talk to me either.
Yeah, he had to be on the call for that.
Yeah.
He had to call.
He had to sit there and watch all 9 innings of it.
There are people that can't use their brains that think that the conversation we had about the Governor's Cup was because Ole Miss lost and we want the game to go away because Ole Miss lost.
You have sour grapes. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know. I totally understand.
That was totally it for sure.
That's right. That's right.
100%.
I mean,
and we certainly didn't
suggest.
We certainly didn't suggest to keep playing that game just in a different venue. We didn't suggest that at all.
I don't remember that at any point.
Now there were people on our text line that were like, "Yeah, I would love for that game to stop because I'm sick of going there to watch my team lose."
Right.
But that was not us. Right. But is there anything else hanging on? Any overarching thoughts from you?
It's just for Mississippi State. You go back to what we talked about at the beginning of the season, right? Talking about SEC play. You want to host. It's win your home series. Don't get swept on the road. State has not gotten swept on the road. I'll give them that. They've been really good on the road this year. They've had 2 different road sweeps, and then they lost the series at Arkansas. But hey, they didn't get swept. It's been at home that's been the problem. But the State having 4 sweep wins has put them into a good position, right? If they had just won these series, they wouldn't be exactly where they are right now. By that same token, if they had not gotten swept by Georgia and Tennessee, they could have lost both series. But if they had just not gotten swept, they'd be in first place in the SEC right now. So, I think the thing I've said about State all year is still pretty true. State beats themselves. Like when State plays clean, they're really tough to beat. But when they make mistakes, you can get to them. And so that's what it's going to be this weekend. If they play clean, they don't make errors, their starting pitching is better, if they take advantage when they have guys on base, they'll be fine. They'll win the game they need to win and maybe even another one. But if they don't, then Texas will easily win this series.
Other series this weekend, Vandy's at Alabama, and I guess that series is already ongoing, and the umpire got hit with a foul ball, and it's kind of a scary scene because he went straight back, and I guess he popped up and he was okay eventually. But, yeah, Missouri's at Georgia. God bless the Tigers. Tennessee's at Kentucky. South Carolina's at LSU in the battle of, not even mid, the battle of bad. Auburn's at A&M.
Yeah.
That's an important series. And then
it is very important.
Florida is at Oklahoma in the, if you want to host, you need to win this series.
Correct.
You going to watch any of the other ones? Are you... I can't do multi-screen with basically any sport. Like, I try it with football, but there is always a primary. I'm watching this game, and when it's a commercial, then my eyes will divert somewhere else. Mm-hmm. With baseball, I can't do it. I will put the state game on as well.
Keep up with state, and then I have the D1 scoreboard open, and if something catches my eye, I'll pull up the live stats or something like that, but that's it.
I can't watch multiple. There are people... like on our text line sometimes in YouTube comments that are like, you should have seen this game. And it's like, how did you see that game?
Yeah.
How can people, I can't do the multi-screen, the multi-watch. I try.
Yeah.
And I end up just staring at screens and not consuming any of them, if that makes sense. That's why I don't care about the YouTube TV quad box thing. Because if I put that up.
I can do that for football for whatever reason. Baseball, I can't.
Good question here. How differently are we talking about State if McPherson doesn't get hurt?
Probably pretty differently. Because, McPherson is really good. I don't think he gives it. Think about State against Georgia, right? Charlie Foster got shelled in the first couple innings, and that's when they decided to move Volinkis all the way up to Friday. If McPherson's there, that game probably a little different. So. And that's why when he does come back, State becomes a very dangerous team. Because if they can have McPherson, Volinkis, Stone, You get Foster, who you see that he can do some things. He's just inconsistent. Plus all the bullpen depth, and if Bauer is going to become another piece, I mean they have a lot of weapons there in the bullpen.
They certainly do. 601-879-4395. We got asked earlier, by the way, about the Okafor, the basketball player that flipped from Ole Miss to State. I had no details about that to really have a comment.
I mean, all I know is that he committed to Ole Miss. He signed with State. I saw some non-fan media got really up in their feelings about some things yesterday. I don't know exactly why. This kind of thing happens from time to time. But State needed a big man, and they got him.
Somebody asked me, it was a State fan, it was like, how bad does this hurt Ole Miss? I was like, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, his numbers aren't great.
You needed a big guy if you're Ole Miss. Now you still need one. Put it that way.
We'll be back after the news.
Talk Mississippi on the SuperTalk app, your local SuperTalk station, and at supertalk.fm.
I know previous hosts like to let this run all the way till you get to Captain Picard, but if you're going to do it at the top of the 4 o'clock hour, I got to go.
You got to do what you got to do.
We got stuff we got to talk about because, guys, it's raining outside. I bet everybody's yard is a wreck. You haven't been able to mow in 2 weekends with all this rain. Well, when we finally get some dry weather back, you need to make a trip over to see my friends at Ag Up and take advantage of the Drive Green sales event. It's going on now through May 23rd. And here's what they're going to do for you. Obviously, they want you to come by, look at all the John Deere mowers, tractors. They want you to buy those. But they're going to do something for you. They're going to put you in the seat of a John Deere compact tractor. They're going to give you a quote. Now, that quote's going to be a great deal, and you're probably going to want to buy. But regardless of that, you're going to get entered into a contest to win a free John Deere generator and pressure washer. That's all the way through May 23rd, so stop by your local Ag Up. And if you're in Hattiesburg on Tuesday, May 12th, you can stop by your local Ag Up and say hello to your friends Brian Haydad and Michael Borky, because we're going to be there with Sports Talk Mississippi from 3 to 6. Again, you get a quote on a tractor, you can win a John Deere generator and pressure washer. We hope to see you at Ag Up, 7000 U.S. Highway 49 in Hattiesburg on Tuesday, May 12th.
Tuesday's gone with the wind. All right.
What's up on Sports Talk Mississippi? In about 30 minutes, Jay Powell will join us live from Austin, Texas. That game has been delayed, so no rush for Jay. He can sit there and talk a little baseball with us. But we will continue to preview these 3 big series here in the state of Mississippi.
I still can't get it's crazy. I still can't get week 2 out of my head.
What, for college football?
For college football. I still can't get it out of my head.
You're going to have to get it out of your head.
No.
We got a long way to go between now and then.
I can't. What? Hey, Dad, just visualize this for me. Furman goes into Neyland and beats Tennessee.
All right, calm down. You got to calm down over there. It's going to be okay.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
No, it wouldn't.
What do you make of Tennessee right now? What a fascinating program Tennessee football is at the moment.
Well, I make a lot of Tennessee. If you check out the Thunder and Lightning podcast feed today, my interview with Ben McKee of Go Vols 24/7, part of our spring football series, they are one of the few teams in the conference with a true quarterback battle, although Ben tells us he thinks the true freshman Faison Brandon will end up winning that just because he's just Faison. He's just super talented. They've got a great core of skill position guys, Mike Matthews, Braylon Staley, and Deshaun Bishop, the running back, 1,000-yard rusher back. Defensively, they bring in Jim Knowles, who's, as we know, has been a great defensive coordinator over the past few years.
That was a great hire.
Brought a couple of guys from Penn State with him, but there's some concerns. Apparently, his defense is one that you need to have played in a little bit before you can get there. So they have a week. You mentioned week 2, right? Week 2, Tennessee at Georgia Tech, correct?
Week 2 at Georgia Tech.
That's a tough game. That's going to be a tough game. If they can win that game, they got a shot. Ben said that he thought this was probably a 7 or 8 win team. If Aguilar had won his eligibility case, they might have been a 9 or 10 win team and been there in the playoff picture. But he feels like it's a bit of a transition year. The problem with that is for Heupel, it's year 6. And do you really get transition years and rebuilding years when there's the transfer portal? So he's interested. He said he was very interested to see it, and as am I. It's a team that neither school in the Magnolia State plays this year, but they are a very interesting team.
Resident LSU fan Marty says nobody cares about week 2. It's all about what happens in week 3.
You are a liar. First off, your team plays Clemson week 1. You care about that. You care about college football. There's great games every week. I care about every week equally in the college football season.
Yeah, but week 3 features the only coach in America that would get jealous of a quarterback doing a Vanity Fair article and make them do one on him too.
That was funny.
Your reply to Bunky was exactly correct.
Yeah,
I mean it's exactly what it is.
I want to make a joke. There's no joke. He saw that Trinidad got a feature in Vanity Fair, or wherever was it? Was it for Vanity Fair?
Vanity Fair.
I saw that Bomani Jones wrote it, and he was like, "Well, I want one," and so they pulled the strings to get him in there. Look at the office he's sitting in, by the way. It looks like something off of a bad LinkedIn commercial.
Looks like the desk at a hotel room.
Yeah, what are we doing here? That's where I think I checked into the Hampton Inn in Baton Rouge at that same desk.
I zoomed in to see if the computer was plugged in.
It might be. It might not be.
There were some cords that were like, where's that cord going?
Guys, I make the jokes about him being on the spectrum. They're not jokes. Look at him. Look at the way he acts. He's quote one of my favorite movies, Braveheart. He's not right in the head. That's what he is.
Some of the photoshops were good.
Were there photoshops?
Oh, there are photoshops of the pictures that LSU football is like. Look what's on it in the works.
Yeah,
coach is going to be in Vanity Fair. It's like Ole Miss had to do that. That's the thing here that LSU's falling into this, and the media that covers them is falling into this.
100%, yeah.
Ole Miss kind of had to do that, the make everything about him thing.
Right.
I mean, the program was lifeless and all that stuff, right. And that was required.
It worked out for Ole Miss.
It worked out.
Let's not act like it did.
Oh, I mean, it worked out. It was a great decision to let him do whatever he wanted and make it all about him. That was a great decision because it turned into wins. LSU does not have to do that, but they are.
Oh, they're absolutely going to do it, though. Yeah. Why wouldn't they? Paid this guy all this money, you might as well enjoy it, yeah. Lane Kiffin made Trinidad chambliss. Lane Kiffin is not trying to compete with Trinidad chambliss. That's ridiculous. Then explain his actions.
Then why?
Just explain his actions for me, then.
And I love that he made him. I hate to tell you that. Look, and it's to their everlasting credit that they found him. Mm-hmm. He showed up to campus what he was. There was no developing. There was none of that. He showed up to campus and from day one was better than Austin Simmons. Mm. We just didn't listen. Hey, Dad, I can't remember how many times people would like, hey, I'm hearing this or the scrimmage was this. From day one, he was better than Austin Simmons. He was a ready-made. He showed up in the form that he was currently in. He didn't get developed.
You're saying he was in his final form right away. Okay.
Now, again, to their credit, he was identified, but he was not developed.
Right.
He showed up exactly how he was. That's like when people give Hugh Freeze credit for Chad Kelly. Chad Kelly showed up already that good.
Yeah.
What Freeze did well was keep Kelly out of trouble, but he didn't develop Chad Kelly. Chad Kelly showed up that good. Mm. Hugh Freeze kept him out of trouble, which, in hindsight, a miracle that Chad Kelly spent 2 years in Oxford and didn't get in trouble. Of all the things that Hugh Freeze did, that might be the most impressive. I'm not being sarcastic. That really might be the most impressive thing that Hugh Freeze did at Ole Miss was keep Chad Kelly out of trouble.
Yeah. And look, let's I'm going to push back a little bit on you. Kiffin's a good coach. His offense, helped showcase Chambliss. Yes, the development piece, maybe not so much because he's been playing college football for so long. But he gets some credit. We're not going to give him.
Absolutely, he gets a metric ton of it.
Yeah,
but Chambliss showed up as good as he was.
It's less about development, and it's more about it just worked.
They identified him. That's what I said.
They identified him.
To their credit, they identified him, but he showed up already what he was.
Mm-hmm.
Chambliss was never promoted by Kiffin? No, because he was out. Didn't spend any time trying to get him or Lacey into the Heisman ceremony. I mean, you have Clark Lee wearing Pavia's merchandise in every interview that he did down the stretch because he was trying to get Pavia the Heisman Trophy, which, again, in hindsight, I think we awarded it to the right guy. No. Let me spin that question on you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know you like Mendoza, but you don't love Mendoza.
Right.
Who was the true best football player in college football last year?
Jeremiah Smith.
So if you were giving the Heisman Trophy to the letter of what the trophy is supposed to be.
The best player in college football last year was Jeremiah Smith. Because if you know how I know that? If he was draft eligible, he would have gone number one this year. And if he was draft eligible, he would have gone number one last year as well, too, as a true freshman. That's the best player in college football. No questions asked.
I'm trying to think if I could even present a counter argument to that. If not him, then who? Because the Heisman has just become who's quarterback on the best team award, basically.
Mm.
Or who is the best quarterback award, not the best overall football player.
Right. Yeah,
maybe Love. I mean, you could argue him, too, I guess. You could argue that if you wanted
Love.
to.
Yeah. If we were really doing it, I don't know how many quarterbacks make the final, who get to go to New York. If it's actually the best, most talented player.
And the Venable SportsTalk Mississippi is brought to you by Covington County Hospital in Collins, where your health matters.
The best sports talk in the state.
It's the best thing.
Say that again.
We the best on 3. 1, 2, 3. We the best.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Super Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi back with you here on a Friday afternoon.
Somebody says Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech.
Really good football player. You could put him on. So this is an interesting debate. And we're talking about the actual best football players. I'm definitely going Smith, Love, Rodriguez could make that list. Who else would be out there? Bain?
Yeah, I mean, he was incredible on a playoff team.
Yeah.
Not a playoff team, on a team that went to the national championship.
Yeah, the number 2 team in the nation in the final poll. Trying to think my way around college football.
Rodriguez, by the way, not even the toughest guy in his own marriage. His wife, a Black Hawk helicopter pilot. She rules. If you read the story about the two of them, I mean, their kids are going to be the most disciplined human beings on the face of the earth. Elite linebacker
step out of line, yeah.
And a Black Hawk pilot.
Yeah.
He also has one of the greatest mustaches in sports.
It is fantastic. There's no question about that.
So he was 5th in the Heisman. Here's the Heisman voting last year. Mendoza, Pavia, Love, Julian Sayin from Ohio State. And I hated where his votes were. He's good, don't get me wrong, but come on.
I mean, there was a point late in the season he was completing 80% of his passes. We got to give him some credit.
Rodriguez, Smith, Stockton, Chambliss, Downs, king.
Stockton, gosh. I like Stockton, don't get me wrong, but
That just shows you the quarterback thing.
yeah, it's too much sometimes.
That's what that is.
Caleb Downs, that's a good choice.
I think your answer is the correct one, though.
Jeremiah Smith's the best college football player. If there was a college football fantasy draft where you would let whoever the worst team in college football was last year pick first, they're probably taking him. And again, if the NFL draft, if he had been eligible this year, he would have gone first. The Raiders would have figured it out at quarterback and put him out there to work with.
Saw Fernando Mendoza on the practice field for the first time.
Okay.
That's what I love. I love about the about NFL fandom, really. Mm-hmm. The second your player gets drafted, I mean, like a week later, they're on the practice field.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
Wearing your uniform. It's the best. I mean, imagine if the portal closed and then you had practice immediately.
Yeah. Well, in some ways you do because you have spring.
But you don't get to watch.
You don't get to watch it, though, unfortunately,
yeah. Speaking of players in practice, Xavier Harris has a home, and it's in New Orleans, actually.
Saw that. So I remember him. He had an arrest.
I totally forgot about it. Yes, that was a thing that also kept him down.
But it feels like
it all went away.
Well, yeah, people were saying his off the field issues. And I'm just like, did I miss something? I remember he had an arrest for reckless driving or something.
And that was 3 years ago.
What else were what were the other off the field issues with him? Was it something that
So you have
scouts
that.
know about, but not us. Did he have another thing? I don't. If I'm not being flippant here. I don't remember.
You're not. I mean, it was a domestic violence arrest.
That's what it was. Okay.
3 years ago, right? 2023
that's
is
what
the
it
date.
So he had two arrests. He had a domestic situation, and then he had DUI. Okay. All right. Well, then I get it then. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if that's the case, though, if he can... If
and then there were questions about motor also on the football field.
Then I get why he didn't get drafted. But if they can figure that out, the Saints got a steal here.
Mm-hmm. And if you have the article up, sometimes it goes down like this. The charges went away, didn't they?
I'm sure they did. Yeah. He faced it doesn't appear like anything happened.
But yeah, I mean that could scare teams.
Yeah, for sure.
No doubt. I think he'll make that team.
Mm-hmm.
I think he will.
Good.
We'll see though.
I mean, they need defensive linemen, and he's the guy that we saw play at a high level in the SEC. If he can keep his head on straight, great, super, fantastic.
And somebody, you're exactly right. There's more to being a football player than being an NFL guy, and that's something
that's why somebody like Manziel, Tebow, these are great college football players, but they weren't great pros. I can make that distinction.
And if Manziel had his head on straight, he still would not have ultimately been a great pro.
I agree with it. He just the way he played, the things he did in college, you can't do those in the NFL. So
it doesn't work there at all.
Yeah, but Jeremiah Smith, you just got to watch 5 plays, and you're like, okay, this guy's on a level that's different than everybody else.
And Tebow didn't work in the NFL because, as great of a college player as he was, he didn't have elite quarterback traits. Great leader, brilliant guy, but when it came to having to do what you need to do to complete passes in the NFL, he didn't have it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't. He didn't get blackballed or anything like that. He didn't have it.
Right.
And that's okay. I mean, Troy Smith didn't have it.
Right.
Heisman Trophy winner.
A lot of Heisman. Ty Detmer didn't really have it. He played a long time in the NFL, but he was never a starter. I can debate, does Kyler Murray have it?
I would say no.
Does Bryce Young have it?
He could.
I don't know if he does or not, though. So, there are a ton of great college football players that just didn't do anything in the pros. That's the sports are different in some ways that this happens.
Yeah.
And Marty's like, Marty's right. He was a great pro, but wasn't a great college player. He was a good college player.
Brady?
Tom Brady was a good college football player. You would never say he was great in college.
No.
But as a pro, he's the greatest quarterback that ever lived.
A totally unmemorable college career.
Yeah.
Just
a
split
guy. Time.
Yeah.
He and Drew Henson split time at Michigan.
What's Drew Henson doing now, I wonder?
I don't know. I mean, he had a cup of coffee with the majors. He had a cup of coffee with the Cowboys, and that's about it.
He's probably got a nice country club membership somewhere.
He's doing well.
Yeah, he's doing something. He's not wearing 7 Super Bowl rings around.
He is working in sports finance as a NFLPA registered financial advisor. So there you go.
He's doing well.
He's doing all right. Yeah, good for him.
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to invest.
He's got it. He's the answer to a bunch of interesting trivia questions.
Yeah. I wonder if he'll invest in Patrick Cantlay's private equity firm.
Is that a thing?
Patrick Cantlay, the golfer.
I know who Patrick Cantlay is.
He started a private equity firm with Kevin Durant and Mike Trout, I think, are the other 2 investors. And it's like I think the initial investment from the 3 of them was like $500 million that they put into this PE firm. Oh, man.
Okay.
For some reason, I don't think any of them are bad guys. I don't know why I think this way, but I think in 10 years you're going to read a headline that, Patrick Cantlay's PE firm gets caught with shady, It's going to be like, something's wrong here. I don't trust Cantlay. He takes too long to hit the ball. There's something wrong there. But anyway, Tua inconsistent in the NFL. I mean,
didn't win a Heisman, but yeah, Charlie Ward never even played it down in the NFL. Good call there. Won the Heisman Trophy. Great college quarterback, way ahead of his time. Charlie Ward in today's spread systems would be. I mean, he would have won 2 Heisman trophies in 1 year. He would have been unstoppable.
Somebody says if Tebow would have switched to tight end, he would have had a pro career. Cowherd, if Dak Prescott would have switched to tight end, he'd have a pro career too, according to
a lot of people.
A lot of people
who were incorrect.
I am scared of this take.
Okay.
There's a chance that the Cowboys are actually Super Bowl contenders.
I mean,
the roster looks good.
If they got their defense, offensively, they've been a Super Bowl team the past 3 or 4 years. It's just they're so bad defensively. So did they fix that? If they fix that, yeah, they'll have an opportunity. I don't know if they fixed that though.
Is Cantlay an aim point guy? I don't know. I just know watching him try, the length he takes to hit shots is maddening. But I'm sure he is. They all are now. It's ridiculous. Watched a little bit of golf today. The Cadillac Championship at Trump Doral.
Oh.
There's a big golden Trump statue on the property now.
That's right.
It's really funny. Apparently the players, they loved it just because they're like, oh, look at this. It's a big old gold statue of this guy. It's 12 feet tall. It's a huge golden statue of it.
I got that's a cross in the mornings deal for 100%.
Jay Powell, when we come back on the Farm Bureau guest line, check out favorites.com and go with the home team. We'll be back.
From the Seabrooks.
Now we have a special surprise for everyone.
Give it to me. More Sports Talk Mississippi right now on Super Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi back with you here on a Friday. We go now to the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. Former Major Leaguer, former Diamond Dog, and the color commentator for tonight's game between Mississippi State and Texas on the Mississippi State Radio Network. Jay Powell joins us. And Jay, how many people have said something to you about you would have told Parker to take a strike on 2-0 last week?
Hey, can't be right all the time.
No.
My thought process, honestly, was, you got a young hitter, a guy who's struggling throwing strikes. I don't know. I just didn't want him to go out of the strike zone being a little over-aggressive. But, I keep forgetting how mature that kid is as a player. Obviously he made the right choice.
So I had Brooks Bryan on my podcast, and he was talking about what sets Parker apart as a freshman is his ability to recognize pitches, that he just doesn't seem to get fooled. He doesn't seem to take bad swings. Of course, Brooks Bryan is a hitter. You're a pitcher. Do you see the same traits in Jacob?
Yeah, and he's just, I told Neil, I said, he reminds me a lot. I see him in the winter sometimes at Grit with his brother JoJo and Connor Griffin. And I said he has a level of maturity about him, not only as a player but as a person, similar to what Connor has. And it's just, that goes a long way when you're trying to compete in the SEC as a freshman. And that maturity, not only as a player but as a person, definitely helps him in, honestly, pitch recognition and just not letting the moment get too big for him. And to me, that's what's been so impressive about him.
I don't know that Jacob was the most impressive freshman last week, though, because we all saw Jack Bauer coming into a bad situation and absolutely controlling the game for the entire time he was in there up until he gave up that home run in the top of the ninth. I used the word arrived when I talked to Coach O'Connor earlier this week. When you look at Jack Bauer, do you see a guy who's starting to figure it out and can be a real weapon for Mississippi State now?
Absolutely. And he's, and I like to credit him, obviously, and Justin Parker a lot with what's going on with Jack this not we saw him early in the year, and, his first 3 or 4 outings, the numbers were not very good. And he's not totally, but he's changed his delivery a little bit. He's getting more down the hill. He's getting more extension on his fastball, which is allowing it to play like it should, meaning when it's 102, it looks like it's 102. And I mean, there's not a lot of guys walking the face of the earth that can left-handed and can throw a ball 103 miles per hour. And now he's starting to be able to control that slider. Change-up starting to develop a little bit. I mean, he has a really going down the stretch for Mississippi State. To me, he has an opportunity to be a force. He really does.
How hard is that to change your delivery? When you think about something like that, you've probably thrown the same way for most of your life, and now a coach tells you, we need to tweak this a little bit. How difficult is that?
Well, it's honestly, and, it's a guy that's as talented as that, and it's probably never really struggled. And so it takes a little bit of a struggle to understand, okay, I got to make an adjustment here. Like, I got to change little things. And what they did wasn't anything drastic. It really wasn't. I mean, they just kept him on line a little bit better and got his extension a little bit better. So it's working down the hill versus kind of being rotary and side to side and losing some of that extension.
Big series, obviously, this week, and they're all big at this point in the year when you're a team like Mississippi State that has really everything on the table that they want to get. When you look at this Texas team, this matchup that we're going to get tonight between two Vs, Volantis and Volinkis, this should be an outstanding pitching matchup. What do you see with the Longhorns?
They're honestly very similar to Mississippi State. I mean, when you look at their numbers, when you look at the way they match up, when you look at everything about them, hitting, pitching, defensively, I mean, they are, really, really similar. Same offensive numbers are very similar pitching. They got a good rotation. They got, one really good front end type guy. The bullpens are very similar. They're almost carbon copies of each other. They got a couple really big bats in the lineup, and everybody else is just a solid player. To me, this is one of the most evenly matched teams that matchup that we've had all year. I mean, there's, you get matchups sometimes where we swing it better than they do, we pitch better. These groups are almost mirror images of each other.
I said earlier in the show that I think State has shaken off those 2 weeks against Georgia and Tennessee, but watching a team like Mississippi State get swept at home back-to-back weekends, it kind of colors the way you look at this team. When you saw the way they played against South Carolina and LSU, did you see a team that had shaken all of that off, or did you just see a team that was playing two bad teams and beating them?
I look at, the thing that to me has been the inconsistent part a little bit of this team has been the offense. And we've talked about that a lot, but what I saw against LSU and against Ole Miss is they have kind of gotten back to where they were early in the year as far as their approach hitting, especially with two strikes, especially in situations. I mean, they struck out 4 times the last game against LSU. I think they struck out 4 or 5 times, maybe 6, but I think they had 4 going in the last couple of innings against Ole Miss. I mean, they're now going back to the approach they had early in the year when they were having so much success. So that's, I look at that more than who we're playing, because I feel like the team's good enough to beat about anybody in the country, but, we've got to be playing well when we do that. I feel like the pitching has been pretty consistent all year. Defensively, we've been pretty consistent. Offensively, we had that little bit of a dip, but it looks more like the team we saw earlier in the year these last couple weeks.
So I talked to Coach O'Connor on Monday and asked him about Ryan McPherson, and he seemed pretty optimistic he'll be back by the end of at some point in the regular season, is what he said. How does that work? He obviously doesn't come right back and be the Friday night starter. How do you ramp up after you've sat out for 5, 6, 7 weeks like this?
Well, you got to make sure he's healthy. That's step one. Make sure he feels good. Make sure that everything is good to go with him. And you got to get him in a position to where, you got to get him on his arm back in shape, kind of his feet back under him, and then he's got to get in a bullpen and when he's physically ready to do it, kind of simulate a game and really try to get as much adrenaline and everything else going. And then you just kind of got to get him back into it. And hopefully, we can get him back in a situation where he can start getting some innings toward the end of the year into the tournament and, where he's maybe got 2 or 3 outings under his belt before regionals. And that would maybe be the perfect scenario. As a starter, I don't know. That may not work just because I don't know if he can build his pitch count back up. Maybe he can, maybe not can't. But just getting him back in that staff, and even if it's a back end of a game or a situation where he comes in and gets you out of a jam, that kid's too talented, not to say that at any point during a game or any time we use him, it's not going to be a huge boost for this team.
Yeah, it kind of goes into the question, like, if he was able to come back next week, like, I don't think he's pitching this weekend, but let's say they have the midweek game with Nichols and then they have Auburn and they're able to get him back into it. By regionals, could you see him starting, or is it just going to be a situation where they just got to pick and choose how they use him, and he could be a weapon in the bullpen?
I think early on maybe it's more of a weapon in the bullpen, obviously, like you said. And then, if he goes out, he throws 20 pitches, and let's say in the next outing he's up to 4. He goes out those 45 or 50, where you can get him, and once he throws that, the next day he feels good. He recovers fine. He's not having any lingering problems. After about 2 or 3, 2 outings or so, yeah, you could see him maybe starting. Now, I think his pitch count is going to be limited. So I think you get to a point then to where, say, if you're in a regional or even a super, you start saying, okay, obviously, if he's on a limited pitch count, do we like him better? Maybe pitching the back end of a Friday night game and then having to come back maybe for an inning on Sunday? Or do we try to get him in there and start a game and knowing where, he may only go 3 or 4 innings? So I think a lot of it's going to depend on, one, how the rest of the starters are pitching, where your needs are, and first and foremost, though, how Ryan feels.
Boy, the thought of Valinkas giving you 7 innings in a regional game and then McPherson getting the final 2 is very, very appetizing, I would think, for Mississippi State fans, for sure. Jay,
that's where I think it's headed. I do.
Jay, appreciate your time. Have fun on the call tonight, and we'll be listening in as Mississippi State takes on Texas.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Jay Powell on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Farm Bureau. The idea of McPherson closing out, think about Valinkas, that big left-handed pitcher, and then you come back and here comes a right-hander throwing 96, 97 those last 2 innings. That's a really good scenario for Mississippi State. And then again, as Jay said, maybe you get him back on Sunday as well, depending on what the pitch count is. McPherson coming back and the development and the sudden appearance of Jack Bauer has made this if State can just get through this weekend and just stay where they are in terms of the pecking order of regionals, they're going to be a tough team to beat in the postseason just because of the weapons they have out there on the mound. But Jay's also correct. They got to find a way to hit. They got to find more consistency at the plate. They had it against LSU in Game 3 and against Ole Miss on Tuesday. Back in just a minute. Sports Talk Mississippi.
And the Venable Glass.
Sports Talk Mississippi is back.
This is it.
Super Talk Mississippi.
There to work McPherson back in the rotation. That's an interesting thought.
Here, say it again. The whole thing. Start over. Just start over. Start over.
Just keep it live. You never know.
That's the thing. I can't keep it live, but I was caught without having turned your mic on. So just reset here.
Right.
Here's music.
We got a text from Robert and Jackson on the C Spire text line, 601-879-4395. Brian, what are your thoughts on Hoover this year, particularly with using a game there to work McPherson back in the rotation? I thought about asking Jay about that, but your brain and mind, Robert, are working kind of the same way. Like, do you give whatever game one is, do you just let him open that game and see how far you can take him, get him 40, 50 pitches, use it as that kind of game? In terms of what I think of Hoover, I think the same thing every year. I hope that it's irrelevant for Mississippi State's postseason. I hope that all the hay is in the barn by the time you get to make the trip to Hoover is what I hope. But the idea of maybe game one, throwing McPherson and putting him on a pitch count, saying, 40 pitches, and we'll see where he is, and then maybe the next week you could talk about, on Friday in a regional he could get the start, or, on Saturday or Sunday, or however you want to do it. I wouldn't change Valinkas. To be honest with you, I think he could stay on Friday, stay as your game one starter, I guess I should say. But McPherson on Saturday and then Duke Stone on Sunday is not a lot of teams are going to have that kind of pitching, and especially you're talking about in a regional for sure, and then in super regional play, you got a lot of depth.
You do, you absolutely do. Bubba wants to know what Parker's NIL deal is. Bubba, that's a hill that I will die on. I think that all of you should know. All of them.
Well, that said, we don't.
We don't know.
We have no idea.
It's probably not cheap.
Yeah, probably not, because he had to turn. He could have been drafted. He had a number that was probably very high. MLB teams weren't willing to meet it. Mississippi State didn't meet it either, obviously, because it would have been like $5-6 million. That's not what it's going to be.
Yeah.
But he's here. I mean, I'm sure he's not doing poorly. I'll put it that way.
No, although Hail State Diamond did report that.
Oh, come on.
Was he involved in the hotel purchases? Or?
That was just Ace Reese. So.
Oh, it was just Ace Reese. Okay.
Yeah, with his $8 million or whatever it was.
Has the new one done anything crazy yet? Or are they easing their way into the ecosystem?
I have that thing as blocked can be. They could be talking about me on there. I wouldn't know.
Well, I'll make sure to post about. Excuse me. I'll make sure to look.
Yeah.
During the break, I was watching a video of a guy trolling Chat GPT. So you know how they have a voice chat feature?
Yeah.
This guy's account on Instagram, that's all he does.
Uh-huh.
And he asked it how many E's are in the word 17.
How many E's
are in 17?
Hold on, just for my own. There's 4, right?
There's 4.
Okay.
And the thing responds so confidently, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3.
And
the guy goes, wait, no, I just counted. There's 4. And the AI goes, oh, you're right. Yeah, you caught it. There are 4 E's in 17. And the guy goes, actually, no, wait a minute. Hold on, I counted again. There's 5. And the AI goes, you know what? You're right. Actually, I went back and counted, and there's 5. And he goes, oh, no, hold on. There's 20 E's in 17.
17.
And the AI responds, it might seem that way because there's a lot of E's, but there's only 5 E's in 17.
See, let me just tell you people something. When they finally take over, he's going to be one of the first ones to die.
Yeah, that's because all he does is troll them.
All he does is troll. It's like, get him first. Whenever I have an interaction with Grok, with ChatGPT, with whoever, I'm always please and thank you. I appreciate you, GPT. So that maybe they'll be like, hey, he was okay to us.
Yeah.
We can let him live. And I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords.
Somebody makes a good point here. We probably haven't talked about this enough, in part because there were two sweeps mixed in there of the wrong kind, but he does say state and regional talks after losing the Friday night ace is not talked about much. Great job by the bullpen to step up after a shaky SEC start, he says.
He's correct, yeah. A lot of teams would what is Ole Miss if Hunter Elliott is out?
I don't want to know the answer to that question.
So State has done a good job. We said all along we thought Valinkis was a Friday night guy pitching on Saturdays. He's certainly turned into that. Stone has been good enough. Foster has been inconsistent, but he's had some good moments. But State's bullpen, which I think we all would agree was its biggest question mark coming into the season. But some of these new faces have pitched really well. Maddox Webb has been really good. Bauer is starting to come along. Maddox Miller has been really good this year. Another true freshman. Another freshman that we don't talk about very, very often. Dane Burns has become a guy who, originally they were just using him as a matchup guy just to get a left-handed arm out of the pen, pitch to the lefty, and then get out of there. Now he's working multiple innings. He's been really good for State. Billingsley has had his moments for Mississippi State. Jack Gleason has been really good for Mississippi State. So, yeah, the State's bullpen has been very, very good, and it's definitely a big reason why they're in the spot that they're in.
We'll get to your college football fix after the news. Sports Talk Mississippi. Hour 2 already in the books. We'll be back in just a bit.
You're hearing Sports Talk Mississippi. SuperTalk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Forky and Haydad Sports Talk, Mississippi. We got this on the text line. Where's the sports show and the sports guys? Did something happen? Have we been replaced, Haydad? Have they finally pulled the plug on this show?
I swear if I had the ability, I would that would just fall down behind me. The banners go, oh, God.
It's time to go. We're out. We're here, I think. For at least the time being, anyway, until they find adequate replacements. We are still doing this thing from 3 to 6 every Monday through Friday, and we're so glad that you are here. Somebody, by the way, on the baseball conversation said next year State should have the best pitching staff in the country.
Well, I mean, McPherson, Valinkis, Stone, Foster, Bauer, Gleason, Miller, all those guys are back. And then they'll go into the portal and get another piece here and there. So, yeah, they should be really, really good.
You know what else is really, really good?
Puppies? Oh,
Puppies
the college football fix.
Are good.
The college football fix is driven by your Mississippi Ford dealers. That's something else that's really, really good. The Ford F-150. So good, it's been the best-selling truck in America for 50 years. So if you are looking for a new truck, there ain't but one place you need to look. I guarantee you that. That's your Mississippi Ford dealer today. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Is there...
Did you know, you're speaking of gold statues. I don't know if you knew this. At Belt Ford, there's a gold statue of Richard Cross.
It's like one of those things. What's that movie, the George Clooney movie, where he flies around the country and fires people?
I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name of the movie.
And he got 10 million miles.
He got the black card.
Yeah, that's what Ford is going to do for Richard Cross. When he buys his 12th F-150.
Yeah, you get a,
Ford Corporation is going to fly him up to Detroit and, let him special drive the new 2035 version and a watch and stuff like that. Sam Elliott's going to walk out of the building and thank him for his dedication to the brand, that kind of thing. Now that spring practice is over, going into it, there was a lot of things that, we wanted to learn, right? Things that, or maybe that we didn't know about these teams, stuff like that. Is there anything that happened in Starkville during spring practice that you can say now definitively? I won't hold you to this, of course, because things change when the games actually kick off. But you can say right now for sure, this was a question going into spring, and I have learned, and I know that this is true. It could be big picture, it could be win-loss, could be a position or a player, something that as you sit right here, about this team, a question that they answered during the spring.
That's very tough when you're considering that, you didn't get to watch except one scrimmage, right?
Yeah.
I think you said make me lock into a prediction. I'll pick an easy one. But I know that Kamario Taylor is a super high ceiling potential all-SEC quarterback if State can protect him. Now, that's the big if. The other thing that I do know is that Jeff Lebby has spoken in pretty good terms about his offensive line, whereas a year ago coming out of spring, he was adamant they had to get better and that they were going to go into the portal and go get more guys, and they did. Two of whom were day one starters for Mississippi State. But I've seen enough of Kamario Taylor at this point, from the limited playing time last year to the 2 starts that he got to what I saw in the spring game, to know that if they can protect him, this guy has a cannon arm and he's fast as heck, and he's just going to continue to get better each and every week. And State just has to find a way to keep him upright. And if they do, by the way, he's also apparently the man of steel, because I'm still trying to figure out how that took in the bowl game didn't end his season and maybe his career. Just an unbelievable.
Who would be playing quarterback for Mississippi State week 1 against ULM had that been real thing? They
would have had to have convinced Crum and Hawk.
You think it would have been him?
What else are you going to do? You had to have somebody with some experience in the system. It would have had to have been. You would have had to tell them, get out of the portal. We're going to pay you. You're going to be our starting quarterback, and go from there. I think it would have been him, yeah.
But, alas, that did not happen. And Kamario got through spring, all good, and off and running. Ole Miss did not have a spring game, but you've heard this before, but it bears repeating, I think. Everything you hear out of that team, from talking to people close to it, listening to media coverage, stuff like that.
The first 2 people who who said something about my comments on Kamario Taylor are 2 Ole Miss fans who are trying to gaslight us. All I said is he's high ceiling.
Well, one of them is the Southern Miss fan that gets mad. So that's that guy.
I don't think that's that guy.
Yeah, scroll up a little bit.
Is it that guy? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
because he's the one that was
whatever.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yesterday, Pete Golding was Nick Saban and Newt Rockne and Bo Schembechler, and today, Kamario Taylor is Cam Newton and Vince Young. Nobody is saying any of these things. No. The voice is in your head, man. Congrats.
The linebacker position at Ole Miss is they have, I think, again, based on talking to people that are around the team, hearing what people that cover the team have to say, etc., they have rather dramatically upgraded that linebacker. That linebacker a season ago was a position that lacked depth and lacked talent. Andrew Jones coming on late helped a little bit, but the second he got hurt in the Fiesta Bowl, that game was over. They didn't have anybody that could line up and play that style of football with Miami. Daugherty was a workhorse, but his ceiling is low. His floor is high, but his ceiling's low. And then the other guys they had in that room were just not good enough to play linebacker in the SEC at a high level. They weren't. That problem has apparently been solved rather dramatically with Keaton Thomas, Luke Farrelly, Taj Butler. They've got Hobson still in that room. Pete Golding made reference to Ant Davis, the true freshman from Grayson over in Georgia. But especially the 2 starters, Thomas and Farrelly, apparently the talent ceiling is significantly higher at that position in particular. And that is one of those, like, very clearly that answer is yes. Wide receiver, they like what they have at receiver, but they're still, we'll see what happens. A lot of new faces. Same thing at safety. They like what they added, but there's a we'll see. I think at linebacker, it's, oh yeah. Like, they are legitimately awesome at linebacker this season. So that's the one.
Okay.
That's the one. Especially Keaton Thomas. Everything you hear about that guy is like, and I mean this complimentary, like he's a football psycho. Okay. Just obsessed with it. And you can't get him out of the facility. Like he's obsessed.
That's a guy that when he got into the portal, I was hoping Mississippi State would be able to get after. Like I knew what kind of talent we were talking about there. So yeah, that's not surprising, and that's good news for Ole Miss because as because you have two big time defensive tackles there in Franklin and Eccles. So if those guys do their job and they keep off your linebackers, and you've got good linebackers, that makes your defense really salty.
It should.
It should be, And then something that
they invested a lot in this defense this year compared to last year.
And was it Talty yesterday talking about that in years past with Kiffin, and honestly, and Freeze was kind of the same way. Freeze didn't really recruit a plan. He recruited stars.
He did not balance his roster.
I just want to if I can get 15 4-stars, I don't care if not 10 of them are wide receivers. I just want to have a highly rated recruiting class. And with Kiffin, which is kind of interesting, right? Like when Mullen was at State, if they recruited a guy who, like if you looked on the recruiting thing, it said athlete, you could almost guarantee that guy was going to play defense. Like Mullen understood, it's like, we got to be good defensively. I'll figure out the offensive piece of it. Kiffin, And
it worked. It worked. It's not a criticism. It worked.
It worked. It absolutely worked.
They have balanced
the one year.
For
the 1 year they
25.
focused on defense, by the way, in the portal, they had the best defense in the country. So
number 1 in sacks, TFL's number 2 in total defense. Or
don't know if you've got that this year at Ole Miss, but you're going to have a good defense.
You have a lot more expensive defense than last year.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You have that. So, Hogman says, just wondering where 7-8 wins going to be. Well, Mississippi State gets to play Arkansas 8 times, so there's 8 wins for Mississippi State, Hogman.
Somebody asked guys, what about Chris Jones, transfer from USM? Any mention of him? As I said on the text line. Might want to check SportsTalk Florida.
He is not playing linebacker at Ole Miss.
He's not at Ole Miss. He's not at Mississippi State. I don't think we'll be talking about him very much at all.
Although, wait, Florida State, they play Florida. Don't they have another marquee non-conference game, too?
Florida State? Do they play Alabama again?
Yes, in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, but so they get the return game there.
So, yeah, we might talk about him then. But that's week 3, so.
We might talk about him then.
It's your college football fix driven by Ford. We'll be back.
Sports Talk Mississippi.
Boom! Are you ready for some football?
On Super Talk Mississippi.
Hey, Mama, said the way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove. The way you shake that thing, gonna make you burn, gonna make you stay.
Did you give us the Ole Miss lineup earlier?
Yep.
Okay.
Is State's out yet?
Well, no, because game's delayed.
Wasn't a scheduled tweet?
No, I'm sure it wasn't. So yeah, State's game, in case you're just now tuning in, State's game has been delayed until 7:30, and Southern Miss's game tonight has been delayed until tomorrow. They're playing a doubleheader starting at 1 p.m. So Ole Miss, the only baseball set to start on time as we sit here on a Friday afternoon.
Will you be watching the Kentucky Derby?
It's one of those things, like every year, this is the first time I can remember State being on the road. Like that has been a press box tradition of all of us, like, all right, let's watch this for a minute, hope nothing interesting happens during the game. We'll sit there and watch the Kentucky Derby. It's 2 minutes. Yeah, I'll probably flip over, pull it up on the laptop, do something. Why not? Yeah, that's something we do every year. We give our picks for that.
Here we go.
Give it to me.
Horse number 1 is Renegade with 5-1 odds. Renegade is...
Oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life.
He is the favorite, is Renegade.
He's horse 1? Oh, that's not a good spot for him. Okay.
No, it's not. Jockey Irad Ortiz Jr.
Junior, of course. I was thinking, wow, it's his legendary father? I didn't know.
At 50-1 odds, horse number 2 is Albus, A-L-B-U-S.
A-L-B-U-S?
Yeah, what?
It'll be Albus. It's Albus Dumbledore. You know, it's a Harry Potter thing.
It's also the Latin word meaning white or bright.
Well, that would track with Albus Dumbledore's story and the Harry Potter stuff. So.
At 55-1, Intrepido. I guess that would be Spanish for intrepid?
I don't know for sure. I don't know.
Let's see.
It's probably not if I had to guess.
I'm trying to do the translation, not fast enough. It is.
Okay, then.
It is, I think. Horse number 4, 34-1. It's a Bob Baffert horse.
Okay.
Which is, I thought wasn't he banned?
No, it's the other guy, isn't it? D. Wayne Lucas.
No, Bob Baffert got in trouble.
Well, he's back, I think. Then.
Litmus test.
Litmus test, okay. Spanish for fast horse.
Something.
All right. I still haven't heard the name that's drawing me in here.
Yes.
What else we got?
Bob Baffert is a very controversial trainer. He's had some a lot of issues. His controversies page on Wikipedia is extremely long. Anyway, horse number 5, 26-1 odds, Right to Party.
Okay. You got my attention. How hilarious would it be if he won and you just hear, kick it!
That'd be awesome.
That would be unbelievable.
It's a great name for a horse, but also, like, when you retire the horse and you have it in your pasture, come here, Right to Party. Oh, yeah. You're such a great horse, yeah. Right to Party. Good boy, you know?
You gotta fight! That'd be unbelievable.
7-1 odds. The tied for third best odds in this thing is Commandment.
Okay. That's a little too stick in the mud for me.
Horse number 7, 14-1 odds. Is it Dannon Bourbon, D-A-N-O-N, or Dannon Bourbon?
Like Dannon is a yogurt, so I don't know why it would be bourbon. That's not the one. That's not the one.
It is a Japanese trained horse.
Okay.
For whatever that's worth.
So it's a Wagyu horse. Okay. What are they going to do with the meat? Please continue the list of horses.
Horse number 8, 6-1 odds. The second favorite in the field. So happy.
Okay. I can live with that.
8-1 odds. Horse number 9, the Puma.
Oh, that sounds like a pro wrestler.
It also is cheating, right? If you have a big cat in the field, it could just take down its competition.
Could the field of the Kentucky Derby defeat a Puma? I don't know.
Horse number 10, 20-1 odds, Wonder Dean.
Today is going to be the You're my Wonder Dean. No, it doesn't have the same cachet. All right, continue.
27-1 odds, horse number 11, Incredibolt.
Incredibolt. That sounds like a superhero. All right, I like that.
It sounds like if the Incredibles made a third movie and there
wasn't Bolt the dog?
Well, that's from a different movie.
Okay.
It's not the Incredibles dog. Bolt is a superhero dog from a different movie.
Okay, I didn't know that. All right. 2 different universes. Okay.
9-1 odds, horse number 12, Chief Wallaby.
Okay, now, hold on. That's a catchy name.
And
Chief
the odds aren't bad.
That's not bad. All right.
And the jockey's name is Junior Alvarado.
I wonder if he's related to Jose Alvarado.
He's going to steal a victory then.
He might, yeah.
23-1 odds. Another Bob Baffert horse. Horse number 14. Potente. Potente. Horse number 14.
Okay.
Horse number 15. 11-1 odds. Emerging Market.
That's right. The markets are emerging because of my policies. Okay, moving on.
52-1 odds, I
big
believe.
Odds. Big
the
odds.
Worst odds in the field.
Give them to me.
Horse number 16, Pavlovian.
Every time he hears the whistle, he just stops running.
Doug O'Neill, Doug F. O'Neill.
Yeah, there's Doug O'Neill and then there's Doug F. O'Neill.
Yes.
You know what the F stands for? I can't say it on there.
Man. He needs to do a better job of training, apparently.
Okay, yeah.
40-1 odds, horse number 17, 6-speed.
Needs a seventh. Needs a seventh speed, apparently. 6 aren't good enough.
7-1 odds, horse number 18, Ooh. Further Ado.
You know, I love to say without any further ado, but I don't know. Can you continue?
36-1 odds, horse number 19, Golden Tempo.
Okay, sounds like a video game. You guys want to go play some Golden Tempo this weekend?
It really does, actually.
Yeah.
Horse number 21, 29-1 odds is Great White.
Rock me, get me through the night.
Horse number 22, 50-1 odds, Ocelli.
Nah, that's a no-go. Not non-starter.
What even is that?
Doesn't matter. It's a non-starter.
Another term. Okay, ocelli are simple, small organs, literally little eyes, found on the top of the heads of many insects.
That's disturbing.
Why would you name your horse that?
Yeah, I'm out.
Come
I'm
on,
out
guys.
on ocelli.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
I hope they scratch him for some reason. It's like, get him out of the race. I don't want to
think about that. Yeah. Okay.
2 more. 50-1 odds. Horse number 23, Robusta.
I like that. He sounds like a winner.
And then finally, 50-1 odds. Horse number 24, Corona de Oro. Corona de Oro.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Ole Miss Sports Network.
He's swinging and miss. He struck him out.
Toddy.
Do you remember Omaha, baby?
This is Ole Miss baseball.
You can forget it because it's out of here. Showers in the outfield.
That was a rock job.
A towering shot to the wall. Back to back to back. First double play. And the Rebels are out of the inning. Strike 3 called. He got him on a high fastball. And the Ole Miss Rebels are your national champions.
This is Ole Miss baseball on the Ole Miss Sports Network from Learfield in partnership with SuperTalk Mississippi Media. Our coverage of Rebel baseball begins with the Ole Miss Dugout Show, presented by Coca-Cola. Fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola. And by Ford, Mississippi Ford dealers and the Ford F-150, official truck of the Ole Miss Rebels. The countdown is on to Ole Miss baseball. Let's go to the broadcast booth with the voice of the Rebels, David Kellum.
With 3 regular season series remaining, the Southeastern Conference baseball race is tight with 10 teams sporting winning records. Tonight here in Fayetteville, 17th ranked Ole Miss visits 19th ranked Arkansas. The Rebels and the Razorbacks are jockeying down the home stretch to climb that ladder in the league and build a postseason resume. Both teams are 11-10 in the SEC. Hello, I'm David Kellum along with Brad Henderson, and we've got all the action coming up as the Rebs and the Hogs will clash at Baum Walker Stadium over the next 3 days. But first, stay tuned with the Ole Miss Dugout Show next on the University of Mississippi Learfield Sports Network.
It's 6:30 and the branch is closed.
Yep.
and you couldn't find your debit card.
They're 30-16. They're also 11-10 in the conference. They're ranked as high as 16th nationally. Head coach Dave Van Horn is in his 24th year with the Hogs, has won 962 games. He's won over 1,000 in his 33rd year overall with 1,333. Veteran coaches, a storied rivalry, if you will. We have met in some heated battles here in recent years that have included regionals, super regionals, and also the College World Series. Arkansas and Ole Miss both at 11-10 are tied for 6th in the SEC, and you've got 9 conference games left. The Razorbacks have won 5 consecutive weekend series against the Rebels, so Ole Miss needs to try to figure out a way to stop that. We went 2-2 against each other last year because Ole Miss won the game at Hoover in the SEC tournament, but each of the last 2 weekend series played here between Ole Miss and Arkansas, the Razorbacks won in 22 and also in 24. But all of that's history, Brad. You look at today. Today's a big day despite the rivalry between the two teams. Both these teams desperately need some wins this weekend.
Yeah, they do, David. You want to finish on a good note down the stretch. Obviously, both teams still jockeying for that postseason resume and obviously get in that host talk. And so we'll see how it goes. It's a tough place to play like you talked about, but you know, you always feel good when Hunter Elliott's going to take the mound for you.
Got a couple of hunters out there hunting strikes, so we'll talk about both those when we come back in our pitching matchup. That will be next on the Ole Miss Radio Network.
The right field terrace isn't just a place, it's a vibe where the red and blue roar among home run showers, sending opponents into delirium and bringing the energy to Swayze Field. This Ole Miss tradition is brought to you by Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks 49 years straight. Drive F-150, official truck of the Rebels, only at your Mississippi Ford dealer, based on 1977 to 2025 total sales.
Whether it is before you head to Swayze to watch our Rebs play or after the game celebrating a Rebel win, Funky's Oxford is where you want to be this baseball season. With 18 daiquiri machines, an expansive liquor selection, and Oxford's favorite pizza, Funky's is the place to bring your friends, family, and Fido. Rebels play away? We've got you taken care of with full coverage of the Road Rebs on our 15 TVs. From Oxford to Omaha, come hang out at Funky's to make the most of your baseball season.
Hitting them long and touching them all.
Yes, sir, baby. That ball is out of here.
This is Ole Miss Baseball from Learfield.
You already know that Madison Cellars is Madison's favorite place to buy wine and spirits since 1988. On Highway 51 in the Madison Station Shopping Center, Madison Cellars has a hometown feel with a big city selection. Do you have a question about which wine to serve with a certain dish? Call 601-856-0931 and let their knowledgeable staff help you find the perfect match. Find out more at MadisonCellars.net or stop by today. Madison Cellars on Highway 51 in the Madison Station Shopping Center.
My doctor's office is awesome. It's where we go when I have a fever or get hurt. Mom says it's so close.
Trust Care Kids is every kid's favorite pediatric clinic. Our caring staff is here for everything from colds and ear infections to routine checkups. Plus, our clinics are kid approved, packed with interactive games your kids will love. Open late and weekends too.
There's a new kid on the block.
Trust Care Kids. Get care faster. We're not kidding.
Initiative and the Ad Council.
Welcome back again to Fayetteville. As we talked about, a beautiful evening. The weather says partly cloudy with a mixture of sun and clouds. You like that, and that's exactly what's going on. Coach Mike Bianco is trotting out to left field to meet with his team right now. The Razorbacks are in their dugout as we speak. Hey, we also want to remind you, any stolen bases that the Rebels get over the next 3 days, presented by Wade Incorporated, who's been serving Mississippi as your John Deere dealer since 1909 with 14 locations to choose from. Be sure to visit your nearest Wade Incorporated dealership for all of your lawn, small, and large tractor needs. When it comes time to choose, remember nothing runs like a deer. Let's check out the pitching matchup, and then Dave Pulaski is going to join us with a look at the SEC. But Brad Henderson's pitching diagnosis is brought to you by St. Dominic Hospital. Know your own vital stats with the online heart risk assessment. Visit stdom.com /healthy heart to get started. They're going with Hunter Dietz, Hindu, left-hander, sophomore, 6'6", from Trinity, Florida, went to Calvary Christian High School. Very similar to Hunter Elliott, he's had some injury issues in the past. He made only 2 appearances in 2025 as a redshirt freshman because of an injury-plagued season. And then in 2024, it was a redshirt year for him. He made only 2 appearances on the mound after suffering a season-ending injury. So this is his first year to really get some work. He went to Calvary Christian High School in Clearwater, Florida, and he was ranked by Perfect Game as the number 5 left-handed pitcher nationally in the class of 23, and rated as the number 2 left-handed pitcher in Florida by Perfect Game. And you look at what he's done this year, he's been really, really good. In fact, he's got a team-best 6 quality starts, 4 of those in the SEC. He took a loss to TCU in his first outing. He's got wins over UT Arlington, Stetson, Auburn, Georgia and Missouri in the last 2 weekends. In fact, he's gotten a win in 3 of his last 4 outings. He also took a loss to Mississippi State earlier in the year. He's managed to get to 7 innings 3 different times. His run count, the most he's given up 5 in that Mississippi State game. The rest have been very low outings. He's given up 7 home runs. Interestingly enough, 2 in each of the last 3 games in that category. The most he's walked in any game 4. He's only walked 19 all year. He's got 92 strikeouts, Brad, with 12 against Stetson, 12 against South Carolina, 11 against Auburn. He's gone over 100 pitches 4 times, maxing out with 107.
Yeah, those numbers you talked about, David, they'll play in this league on a Friday night, won't they? And obviously Hunter Dietz is an extremely talented left-hander, and he will cause some problems for Ole Miss tonight, no doubt. Can we take advantage when he does miss the strike zone, DK? 94 to 97 with the fastball. The cutter will be in the mid to upper 80s. Curveball be in the low 80s. Changeup low to mid 80s. But really, he's fastball cutter, with that cutter being his go-to pitch. So obviously, you got to see the ball up. We'll go with a little bit more right-handed lineup. Colin Reuter DHing today. Topher Jones will stay in and play left field. But obviously, got to take advantage of your opportunities, because you don't get many against Hunter Dietz.
He's got 92 strikeouts, and Hunter Dietz is hunting 100. Hopefully he won't get them tonight, but he potentially could. And then we're going with Hunter Elliott. He's hunting a career 300 to get in the top 3 all-time at Ole Miss. The left-hander, 6'3", 215, the redshirt junior from Tupelo, Mississippi. Went to Tupelo High School. Of course, very similar. He had injury issues in his sophomore years in 24 and 23. In 25, though, last year, he became just the 5th pitcher in program history to put together a 10-win, 100-strikeout season. Had a fantastic year. He's the number 4 player in the state of Mississippi out of high school. And so far this year, the most innings, 6 1/3. And that came against Kentucky. He gave up 6 walks against Missouri State early in the year. Most strikeouts in a game, 11. And that was against Baylor. And he's given up 9 homers, 2 wild pitches. He's hit 13 on the year, 3 in 2 different games. Most he's gone to is 102. He's only gone over 100 one time, but he's got wins over Nevada, Evansville, Kentucky, and at Tennessee. Took a loss to Florida. But last week, Brad, he struggled with the Georgia Bulldogs. Only 3 2/3. Season high 9 hits, season high 8 earned runs. Interestingly enough, he didn't walk a soul in that game and had only 2 strikeouts before he was pulled.
Yeah, and obviously that was the comeback victory when we were down 8-0, and the offense got it going and ultimately won game 1 in that Georgia series, DK. 89 to 92 miles an hour, the fastball for Hunter Elliott. The slider will be in the mid-80s. The changeup, no doubt his out pitch, which he needs to control at a high level tonight, will be low to mid-80s. And then that curveball, kind of that get-me-over curveball that we've seen a little bit more from Joel Mangrum and Hunter Elliott. But for Hunter to be effective tonight, minimize the free passes, right? Both teams are eerily, and we'll talk about the numbers, eerily similar, both offensively and defensively. You just got to minimize the free passes and make them earn it at the plate.
Hunter is 4-1. Elliott's got a 4.82 ERA. His career record is 20-8 with a 3.52 earned run average. He's making his 51st appearance, 42nd start, 291 strikeouts. So he's 9 strikeouts from reaching 300, becoming the 3rd pitcher ever in Ole Miss history in a career to get to that number, with Lance Lynn and Drew Pomerantz. 4th time to pitch against Arkansas in 2022. He started game 2. That the Rebels lost 6-3, but he went 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs earned. returned, and he also started Game 2 in the College World Series against Arkansas and got his career win number 5. That was a huge victory as the Rebels won 13-5. He started Game 1 in Oxford last year. That Ole Miss won 10-6, and he got the win there. He's got a 2-0 record against the Hogs with 20 strikeouts in 17 1/3 and 3.05 earned run average. That's our pitching matchup. As we turn to the SEC, one game last night, Alabama and Tuscaloosa beat Vanderbilt 5-4. Bama Aussie John Lim, who got fooled on a hidden ball trick early in the game, got the last laugh. He broke a 4-4 tie with a walk-off homer to straightaway center field to give the Tide the win. 5-4. They backed their game up today. Dave Pulaski's got to look at that one and what else is going on in the SEC on this Friday.
Yeah, DK, Bama continuing the momentum from that walk-off home run last night as they blanked Vanderbilt 5-0 in a game earlier this afternoon. They were concerned about the weather in Tuscaloosa, so they played it a little bit early to get it in. Eric Hines got the scoring started with a 2-run homer in the first. Lem then added another solo homer in the first inning. And Eric Hines also added a single for 3 RBIs in the game. Meanwhile, Zane Adams scattered 8 hits over 6 innings, struck out 6. Ashton Crowther with 3 innings in relief to shut the door on Vandy, who came into the weekend holding the last spot for the NCAA tournament in D1 baseball's latest projections, going 0-2 in Tuscaloosa so far this weekend, not the series that they had envisioned. Meanwhile, some other games that are going on around the SEC, Missouri and Georgia are in the bottom of the 3rd inning. No score in Athens. Tennessee and Kentucky also no score in the top of the 2nd in Lexington. Games that are coming up a little bit later on, Florida and Oklahoma.
We had a fantastic rivalry for a long time.
We have, and I think some of that has to do with 2 coaches that have been here a long time. But you're right. One of our Western Division foes. Back a few years ago when we had divisions, and 2 programs that have had a lot of success over the last 20 plus years.
A lot of respect. I mean, we've met each other regular season, postseason, College World Series for that matter. But I know there's a lot of respect between you and DBH.
No doubt about it. And I've known Dave for a long time, and well before his time here. Back when he was the coach at Northwestern State, Natchitoches, Louisiana. Mm-hmm. And so he's had a storied career, and he's won everywhere he's been, and certainly he'll be remembered because this is where he's been the longest. But he's won a lot of games at a lot of different places.
I know you want our team to look in the mirror and take care of our business. What is your scouting report on this particular Arkansas team?
It's a little bit of a head scratcher, to be honest with you. When you look at their statistics, when you look at them on video, it's a really, really good team. And not that their record and those things aren't good, but they're probably a little slight to where they normally are at this point in the season. And I think a lot of it's just trying to figure it out. It's the age of a lot of new players and trying to find their roles. They've switched up their rotation a little bit, but they're going to run 2 starters out for sure. On Friday and Saturday, that as good as anybody's. They moved Gackle, who's kind of been back and forth as a reliever, and they tried him as a starter. He's back in the bullpen. We know how good he can be, and other bullpen pieces. And on the offensive side, it's similar in a sense where maybe in conference play they haven't swung it the best. But certainly there's guys like Koziel and other guys that maybe their numbers are a tick down in Southeastern Conference play, but certainly a good offense, and one I know that Joel we talked about this morning has a lot of respect for.
You've got Federico back in the lineup, so obviously he's feeling pretty good.
Yeah, he ran last night about 80%. Didn't want to push it too much in practice, but he's gotten better every single day, and so our hope is that's not going to be a factor this weekend. And again, that's a hope. But certainly with him in the lineup, it changes things to the good for us.
And not that Hunter hasn't had a lot of success against a lot of different people, but exceptional success against Arkansas. He's 2-0 in 3 previous outings.
I didn't realize that, but he's probably 2-0 against a lot of people over his career, and he's a good one. We talk about him every week at this first game, and nobody better that we'd rather have the ball on Friday night than Hunter.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ole Miss and Arkansas game 1 will be coming up shortly. We'll continue with our pregame show shortly on the Ole Miss Radio Network.
Hey, Rebel fans! For more than 50 years, Mississippi Asthma and Allergies Board certified team of allergists has treated patients by identifying triggers and creating personalized treatment plans. Now with 8 convenient locations across Mississippi, including Oxford, we're right next door when you need us. Treating infants to adults and Ole Miss students. Find our clinic nearest you at msaac.com. Mississippi Asthma and Allergy, helping Mississippi live life to the fullest and allergy-free.
Ole Miss baseball returns after a word from your local station. This is the Ole Miss Sports Network from Learfield.
In life and in business, one thing is certain. Change. That's why Pilium Corporation is ready to keep you ahead of the curve on ever-evolving technology, critical for your company's security and growth. To that end, the Pilium team offers IT support and security and forensics, plus cloud services and networking, mobile communications, body cams, in-car video systems, and real-time crime center technology. Pileum.com. Smart people, smart business, smart solutions.
Jack Hoffman here with Tico Steakhouse. At Tico Steakhouse, tradition is always on the menu, and now that tradition lives in 2 locations. Ridgeland off County Line Road and in Oxford on the Square. Known for the finest cuts of meat, a perfect sear, and hospitality that feels like home, Tico's is where memories are made every day. Whether you're celebrating a special occasion, toasting a big game win, or even simply enjoying a great meal with friends and family, Tico Steakhouse is the place. Come taste the legacy, savor the tradition.
Welcome back to the Ole Miss Dugout Show. It's time now for today's starting lineups, brought to you by Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Rebels in Arkansas about to start the 3-game series in Fayetteville. Here's the Ole Miss starting lineup for tonight's ball game. Hayden Federico's in the leadoff spot in center field. Tristan Becerra in right field bats second. Judd Hudemark's at third base hitting third. Will Furness in the cleanup spot at first base. Colin Reuter's the DH batting fifth. Topher Jones is in left field hitting sixth. Dom Decker, the second baseman, bats seventh. Austin Foley's the catcher hitting eighth. And Owen Pano's the shortstop batting ninth. Hunter Elliott will be on the mound for Ole Miss. He'll be countered by Hunter Dietz for Arkansas. We'll have the Razorback defensive alignment and the first pitch coming up next on the Ole Miss Radio Network.
Today's starting lineups have been brought to you by Atmos Energy, your natural gas company. The first pitch is coming your way next as Ole Miss baseball continues right after these messages.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C-Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C-Spire. Customer inspired.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Ole Miss baseball lives here.
Swung on, hit deep to right field.
A SuperTalk Mississippi media production.